Thank you, Chairman Latta and Ranking Member Castor, for holding this very timely hearing. Across the country, 1 in 3 households is forced to cut back on basic necessities just to afford their energy bills. In Virginia, families face electricity rate hikes of at least $10 a month. And this is on top of rising grocery prices caused by President Trump's reckless tariffs and draconian Medicaid cuts that strip health coverage from millions of low-income Americans. And rather than addressing these problems, the Trump administration has frozen or canceled funding for clean energy projects, even though clean energy consistently delivers cheaper electricity than dirty fossil fuels. And the Republicans' big, ugly bill terminating clean energy tax incentives that were already helping homes and businesses save money through energy upgrades. And Republican leadership used the Congressional Review Act to reverse the Biden-Harris administration's common sense energy efficiency standards that have broad public support and save customers money by reducing their individual demand. In 2024, DOE's standards helped the average American household save over $500 on their utility bills. And in this committee, we often discuss how growing energy demand from manufacturing and data centers and the urgent need to bring more generation online. But energy efficiency is one of the quickest and most cost-effective tools we have to reduce peak demand, to reduce individual demand and therefore lower individual customer bills, lower greenhouse gas emissions, and strengthen grid resiliency and energy security. Now, Virginia is home to more than 600,000 veterans, many of whom face unique challenges transitioning to civilian life and finding good-paying jobs. But energy efficiency jobs have provided important opportunities for veterans, who currently make up about 10% of the workforce in this sector alone. For many veterans, energy efficiency jobs offer a meaningful way to leverage their leadership and technical skills while continuing to contribute to our national security. So, Ms. Saul Rinaldi, could you discuss how federal energy efficiency policies support workforce development and create career opportunities for veterans and other workers?
Absolutely. And I'm glad you brought up workforce training. Workforce training is critical right now. In the building sector, every time that we talk with contractors, they always are looking for trained workers, and the veterans are a big part of where they seek to find and bring in new workers to be a part of their teams. Workforce training is critical, and unfortunately, the unobligated funds from the workforce training grants were taken out in the last in the OBBA legislation, but workforce training is critical. We need to have on-the-job training as well as apprenticeship programs. We need to be investing in apprenticeship programs and workforce training so that these contractors can go into the homes and be able to understand how to size appropriately the furnaces, how much insulation is needed, and how to make sure to make the most cost-effective upgrade for that home, whether that home is fueled by gas or whether it's electric. We need to the contractors need to be trained to make sure that they're making the best decisions for those homeowners.
Thank you. And one of the programs under the bipartisan infrastructure law was a $500 million Renew America School program to help public schools lower energy costs and improve indoor air quality, creating healthier learning environments for students and teachers across the country. In the 2024 funding cycle, Richmond Public Schools in my district was one of 16 districts across the country to receive over $15 million to support much-needed upgrades at 22 Title I schools. Many of these schools were over 50 and in some cases over 100 years old, so you can imagine how inefficient energy-wise they were. But in January, President Trump issued executive orders illegally freezing funding for the Renew America schools. Ms. Saul Rinaldi, how has the uncertainty created by the Trump administration's funding freezes impacted schools and businesses looking to upgrade their facilities?
Well, I think any of the funding freezes that we've seen or cancellations has created some uncertainty in the marketplace, particularly when it comes to job creation and hiring, and for contractors who are unsure whether or not certain programs are going to be there to fund those upgrades. They certainly don't want to promise something and go through all the effort to put together a school redevelopment or a church redevelopment for those nonprofits in that program, and then find out that they don't have the funding there to be able to meet that need. So uncertainty is really hard in general for the marketplace, particularly for the small business contractors.
Thank you. I yield back.